Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Bluebilly Farms. I have been playing on this save and I wanted to update you all, show you a little bit of what we've got going on. If you look in the top right corner, you can see that it is now the year 1953. So it's really only been a couple years that I've been playing, but I have some progress to report. Let me talk to you about it. Up there is our starter building. You might remember putting that in a few episodes ago. But back here, we have sheep. And they're doing well. The pen is actually full. It doesn't represent all of them visually, but it's full. And they're producing quite a bit of wool. And I'll show you what we're doing to sell that. We've got our John Deere A as our water vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and fill it up and show you where we're doing that. This might seem like silly that there's so much space between our animals and our starter building, but I do intend to have this be kind of our yard in here. And I'll show you some plans on the overall map. But I put in a little well up here. For a while we were going all the way to, here, I'll show you the map. We were going all the way over here. There's a little pond, and I was going that whole distance. But now we're just filling it up right here. Super convenient, and once we get more animals on the farm, we're not going to be wanting to putt over there with the Model A forever. So this is a nice solution as we get started. As you guys probably know, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, I like these modest start kind of series. Start off small, tinker around. And in fact, we spent almost all of our starter money on land. And I'll show you the land claim here in a minute. As we're pulling up, I realize the bucket is full of seeds. So that's going to be a little bit, it's going to be a little bit problematic because that bucket, for whatever reason, I'll show you a few different things here. For whatever reason, the game does not have front loader. The only front loader tool I have access to is this bucket. There's no forks. There's some skid steer forks, but we haven't unlocked that yet, and that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work with this tractor, anyways. So, in order to pick up these pallets of wool, we can't pick them up by hand; they're too heavy. So we have to scoop them with the bucket and carry them to where we can sell them. It's kind of a pain. So I guess I'm going to have to dump out that seed. But as you can see here, we need grass. It's mostly because I just got lazy at the end of the winter. They're not going to die. And I know those buildings are modern, and I just flipped through there, but the game does not naturally follow the through the years mod. That's something that I had to add and implement, and so it gave me that starter equipment. I just don't use it. That's I didn't sell it to get extra money. I just don't use it at all. So we have a ton of land here. I'll do a down and back. We'll get them some grass to start with, and then I'm going to show you a few more things around the property. And I forgot to show you, this tractor is a McCormick W9, W4. Sorry. It's a McCormick. It's got plenty of power to pull this old International sickle bar mower. I have been trying to confirm the years on everything so that we're not accidentally using something that's too new. The only thing that I haven't looked up is that plow up there. It might be a newer model plow, but I haven't actually, I haven't actually used it yet because, well, that's a thing. Let me explain before we pick up this grass. We don't have a combine. And you might be thinking, we'll just go buy a combine. Well, let me show you something. I actually have notes for this part. You guys ready for this? You excited for this? Your boy doing some research. Okay? So these combines, this one, this Agco 72. And I just got this one, so that's going to be the answer. But this axial flow, I've used this in other saves. Guess what year? 77. 44. This John Deere 4400, 1960. That's still 7 years away. You know how many months in this game that is? It's insane. And these are all the same series. And then this New Holland TR75. You might be thinking, okay, that's pretty old. 1975. So this guy right here, I just recently found. And it is, oh boy, I hope those textures aren't a problem when we get it in game. I didn't see that before. That could be rough. Anyways, this is an IH 141 made in 1954. So hopefully that'll work. It's not on the mod hub. I had to get it from some sketchy website. So hopefully it doesn't break the save. But 1954, that's a year away. And how much was it? I should have looked. $13,000, and the header is $3,600. So basically $17,000 is what we need to have saved up. And I can guarantee you there's another probably $5,000 in wool sitting right there. So by the time we get there next year, we should be able to afford a harvester. We have a planter, we have a plow, we have a cultivator. I don't think we have a sprayer. So I don't know what we'll do for that. For fertilizing. We may just have to do a couple crops that are not fertilized, which is a little bit of a bummer. But I know that they had, fertilizer spreaders like lime spreaders and fertilizer spreaders a long time ago because they're basic mechanical tools. So it's not so much that I'm worried about if it would be historically accurate to have one. I just don't want to use one that's too new. So if anybody who's watching, we're at the 8-minute mark, appreciate you being here. If anybody who's watching this knows of a fertilizer spreader that would be in the 50s or early 60s, please do let me know, especially if it's in the 50s and I could use it. I know some of you are going to be like, oh, there's that old implements pack, why don't you use that? For one reason, because everybody uses it who does one of these older playthroughs. So I don't want to just be using the same equipment that everybody has. But also, some of that stuff is like old, like 20s old. And I think that would look a bit silly. By the way, we're driving a Super M here. I really like this tractor. It is versatile, powerful, far more powerful than you might think. It has handled front loader duties. It has handled this loading wagon with ease. I imagine I'll probably plow with it. This is like the workhorse of the farm. The A has been on water duty pretty much the whole time. The W4 has been on mowing duty most of the time. And is that it? Is that the 3 tractors? Yeah, that's it. So we got 4,300 grass here, which will just about top it off. And then I don't know where I want to dump the seed, because we're going to want it. I'm a little bit concerned about the seed situation, I'll be honest. but I couldn't get the seed bag home because I couldn't pick it up with the bucket per my issues with not having access to front loader forks. Oh, nice. Wrong button. We're gonna drop this off, and I guess I'll put the seed outside between the stuff that's outside here. I've got stuff for beets, so I think we put those in now. Red beets should be your sugar beets. Yeah, April. So I need to do that. Maybe I can show you guys a little of that. But we have a planter here and a red beet. I keep saying red beet. Sugar beet harvester. And of course, the truck is right in the way of where I want to dump these. So when I finally got to April, I had played for a little while, and I was, all the grass finally. All the snow melted and let the grass come up, and I thought, all right, now we're good to go. So what we want to do here, I'm not sure if this game will let me pick the seed up off of the ground with the seeder, but I'm going to show you how I have the wool cell point set up, and I'm going to show you how I have the property set up, and then we'll plow in a little beet patch. That should do us. Should be plenty. So I was loading these in that trailer that the truck has and hauling them all the way into town, which was a real pain in the neck. And part of why I didn't make any episodes while I was doing that is because it just looked so hillbilly, so redneck. Which I say is a term of endearment. It's kind of, don't take that as an insult. Okay, come on now. See what I mean? Like, this should not be this hard. And I don't know why. Sometimes I'm able to scoop it up like right away, and it's not a problem at all. Let's flip it up. Now, I need to get the bucket under there. Like that. Now, we need it to not lean forward. There we go. And then once it's on here, you just have to pray you don't hit any bumps that make it go forward. If it bumps going backward, that actually is helpful. But if you're wondering, I can't actually turn the bucket any more towards the driver. That's it. That's the most angle I can get on it. So I made a little cell point down here on the road, because this is my road. I put this road in. This, if you go straight through the woods here, is how you get. Ooh. Ah, dang it. That's very frustrating. And now we're stuck right next to the truck. Great. And it's downhill. I might have to just push the dang thing. But this road goes into town where the store is, and then to the left down that way is where the sell points are. And I was driving like, I mean, it was seriously, I'd put one on the truck, two in the trailer, and I was doing these hauls that were taking like 10 minutes IRL. And you're only gonna get, I think it's like 1,800, maybe 1,600, something like that, from each one. Oh, that one's 2,100. Okay, great. But some of them are, if you go at the wrong time of year, they're pretty low. And I was getting pretty frustrated with it. But that's when I realized this is in the farm productions pack. It's $100. Slap it down, good to go. And I don't feel like that's like cheating. It's a sell point, and it represents like our farm is here and we sell it there. So let me show you on the map what I have going here. Pardon me. So, here's the store where we get our stuff. Down here's where we sell everything. It's a pretty big distance. And the farmland that we own is right here. So, in order to like have a route into town that we own, that we could build a road, we would need to buy 150, 124, 80, 120. You're looking at $500,000 to do that. And that's with me having already purchased these, which were a little more than I wanted to spend, because I really wanted just 65. I'm going to try to have my farm pretty much be right here. I could extend it into 61, but it's pretty much going to be in this 65. So let me get rid of this. So if you keep an eye on my cursor right here, boom. So you can see our building is right on the edge of that. The animals are in that. But it's a really, it's a pretty big piece of territory. So let me fly up and show you what I'm talking about here. So this is our sell point. Here's the road that comes into our building. And you might notice this lone elm tree here. This is an American elm. This is essentially like the front. I guess that if you view it this way, it's the southwest corner of what's going to be our farm property. And then if we go up here, you can see where I mowed along the line, as close as I could get it to the line. Aha, another American elm. And then if we go over here, you'll notice another one. And then coming along, this was a weird border out here. It should have been straight, but I don't know if I drove crooked or if the line's crooked, but it was a hot mess. But here's our other one in what would be the southeast corner. And you follow this up. So what I'm getting at is the animals aren't the edge of our property. The animals are like maybe 1/3, close to half. So we have a lot of land here to do a variety of things. We're not like beholden to any specific project. We're just doing the through the years thing, which means we're not going to be swathing off significant, 100-acre plots. This is going to be small time patches here and there. I'm going to try to use this M to mow, to plow. If this doesn't work, I don't know what we'll do. But I don't know when this plow would have been made in real life. I did not look that one up. But I think game-wise, it should work because I'm pretty sure it was made by UI modding with intended to work with this setup. So we'll go ahead and lower the plow. Oh, I gotta allow create fields because this is not a field. I was like, what the heck? Okay, here we go. Alright. Put in a little... Wow, that's... What is that? Six bottom plow. I think I'll do a down and back, and that's gonna be it. And then we'll see if we can get some beets planted. Now, you might be wondering why we need beets. We don't have a proper truck for carrying beets, so we're gonna have to go along and pick them up in the bucket. It might be a pain in the neck, but long term, I'm hoping eventually we'll be able to get some pigs, and the beets won't like rot. You know, the game doesn't have that kind of mechanic, so we could just do a couple years worth of beet crops and get those all saved up for when we have pigs. And I don't know about other animals. One of the reasons why I went with the sheep on this rather than goats was I'm not sure about the pens, making sure that I use a pen that has goat milk. And I knew if I went with the sheep that the wool would be fine, because you know you need an income. So let's get that stuck on there. No, I didn't want you to buckle like that. Dang it. Alright, I'm gonna swing it up here and not that far. I never got to plow in real life. I don't know if I would like this job or not. Probably not. Okay, here we go. Alright, now see how the left is real close to that furrow? I want this wheel to turn straight to follow that furrow. That's pretty dang close. That's close enough for government work. Get over here. That's gonna bother me. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, now I should be able to get over there in time to not miss anything. I know this is cheating. What I should do is be up here first person, and I should keep an eye on that wheel and this front wheel, and I should keep it straight. I know I've said this before, but if I ever get an opportunity to do like a VR setup, I would stay in first person. It's just so hard to see with everything going on. And I would, rather than being 2 furrows off for half of my run, I'd rather just recognize that it's only a game and we're not playing in first person all the time. Look at that. That's real nice. That is real nice. And get to the end and up. Plow back here. Should turn it around, but oh well. Now, yeah, that's it. Smack into our other equipment. We have like 4 pieces of equipment we own, and I wreck into 2 of them. Alright, now we can get this old girl. Oh, it has a spot for fertilizer. Interesting. I did not purchase that. We can... Oh, it's already set on beets? Uh-oh. Even with the front loader, it's feeling a little back heavy here. Might not work. Alright. It's down. Turn the seeder on. Let's try to get it. Come on now. Wonder what the speed is going to be. Okay. We're doing it. It's not pretty, but we're getting it done. So we'll be able to do... I was worried about filling the seeder, but we'll be able to do this patch with what we have in here. It's sure gonna be squirrely though. But I don't want to do... I mean, we've got all this land. I could do more. But it's more like I want to use the small equipment while we still have it. There will come a time when this farm will have bigger tractors and bigger equipment, and doing this would be silly. You know? So I'm just gonna run it while I can. While it makes sense. I don't know how far extra it goes on the left. But it seems like it's about 2.5 meters working with. Width. That's a weird word. Okay, is that going to leave a hole in the middle? Just ever so slight. I couldn't believe so many people wanted them to add traction problems to FS25. Like, what? I think this kind of stuff is plenty difficult. Just because they always use modern tractors that are heavy with tons of traction doesn't mean that the game's not challenging. Go ahead and use yourself a... What is this thing about? 40 horsepower? Use a 51 horsepower tractor. Let's see if you still think it's not challenging enough. Okay, so we do not have a spreader, as I was saying, and the ones that we have access to, this is definitely too modern. The sprayer, too modern. Now, this is 70s, but I did think maybe we could get an old manure spreader, but we don't have manure yet. So what I would like to do is get one of these, the old style fertilizer spreaders that, you know, with the spinner thing, kind of like the on the back of the fancy ones, but just smaller. So anyways, plenty of grass here to mow. We can keep the animals happy, get some beets growing. Appreciate you checking out the episode. Appreciate you being here. And I wanted everybody to know we're still at it. We're still playing, having fun with this old kit. Hope you guys like the Through the Years playthrough we're doing. And I will see you in the next one. Please, go ahead and leave a comment. Like it if you like it. And it lets me know if this is worth continuing to create content or if I should just do it on my own. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.